Good morning. My name is Montina. That's my real government name. And I want to welcome you to our daily dose of inspiration for married women, women that want to get married, women that are just like, look, sis, I want to do the work. I want to make this practical. I want my marriage. My husband be acting crazy, but I love him and I want to stay married, right? We want to stay on this side, as they say, of heaven. We don't want to find ourselves behind bars because we choked him. But seriously, my name is Montina, and I created this call for you. So please share it with a friend. Let your sister friend know that she cares about you. And if a sister friend shared this with you, sis, she cares about you. And this is not because things are going terrible in your life. It really is because, me step out of me. It really is because she cares. Okay. So with that said, just didn't want that focus on y'all. With that said, I created this because good morning, good morning, good morning. I created this because I love marriage. I really love marriage. I love being around my married friends and talking about our husbands and get me encouragement. And I found now that I'm older and I'm in a third marriage, y'all. Yeah, I'm one of the crazy ones that actually didn't do it just once or twice. We did it three times. And less than 5% of people actually marry three times. And I realized, like, wow, there's a lot of things that I've learned, and it's just very practical. I read the books, I did the work. And I'll tell you, going into my marriage, I was like, oh, I underestimated the amount of work that it would take even in a third marriage because I thought I knew some things. And I realized very quickly that I still had a lot of work to do to understand my husband. 50% of first marriages end in divorce, 67% of second marriages end in divorce, and 73% of third marriages, they end in divorce. So I wanted to be proactive. Thank you, Jocelyn. I wanted to be proactive instead of reactive with my marriage. I love my husband. And if y'all around me, I love, love, love my husband. My husband is the most unique person on the planet that I've ever met. He knows this. He's kind of like Gonzo from the Muppets. And if you look up his zodiac sign, Aquarius, it's Gonzo from the Muppets. And I'm more like Kermit, Miss Piggy. I'm a Leo. Y'all know I'm lively, and my husband is funny. Like he really is an eccentric individual. So with that said, we get along well. Things were going well, and we hit a time in a valley where I was like, "What the? This is crazy." And I realized very quickly that many of my girlfriends hit, the valley, or if they weren't in the valley, they were coming out the valley and they were going back in the valley. And so I was like, y'all, we need some support. Like I can pray for myself, you can pray for yourself, but sometimes it's just laughing about it together. So that's why I created this. Yay! So we do a mini devotion, just really quick mini devotion. And then y'all know I like to make the practical side. So again, I am an advocate for marriage. We got to do the work. And I know some people are like, I don't want to do all that. Okay, that's you, sis. This probably ain't the call for you because we the finest wives club over here. So we are willing to do the work because we love our husbands, our honeys, our supermen, our heroes. Okay. All right. So today is coming from Battlefield of the Mind. Physician, heal thyself. Why do you stare from? Oh, let me get my get my glasses on. Why do you stare from without at the very small particle in your brother's eye, but do not become aware of and consider the beam of timber that's in your own eye? Or how can you say to your brother, let me get the tiny particle out of your eye? Where's the beam of timber in your own eye? And he says, you hypocrite, first get the beam of timber out of your own eye. Then you'll see clearly to take the tiny particle out of your brother's eye. Just making it practical. When I point one finger at you, you've heard it, three more are pointing back at me. Okay, so really, the devil, the enemy, however you look at this, loves to keep us busy, busy, busy bodies, mentally judging the faults of other folks, especially our husbands. That way we never see or deal with what's wrong with us. Y'all, we can't change these men. Okay, we cannot change these men. I see you, your pod. Thank you, sis. That way, I see you, Gia. The devil loves to keep us busy. That way, we never see or deal with what's wrong with us. We can't change others. Look, only God can. I remember one of my sisters told me this, and she's on this call today. And I mean, I was going through it, y'all. I'm telling you, I was going through it. I was like, girl, she was like, listen, there's a scripture. I don't know what it is, but she was like, it says that God can turn the king's heart. I'm going to get you the scripture. And actually, I've heard the scripture over and over and over again. It's so crazy how many times I've heard it. And God changed my husband's heart. He also changed my heart and my outlook too. But we cannot change us. but we have to cooperate with the spirit inside of us and allow God to do the work. Step one to any freedom is to face the truth. You got to face the truth with yourself. When we have our thoughts and conversations on what's wrong with everybody else, especially our husbands, well, he's not buying me flowers, he's not opening the doors. Oh, I see, him doing, I see another husband doing this for a woman. Y'all, comparison is the thief of joy. We cannot concern ourselves with what's wrong with him or what somebody else is doing. Allow God to deal with you first, and then you'll learn the scriptural way of helping your husband, okay? Helping your husband in your marriage. And that's why I like to read the scriptures, but I really like to take this into a practical level. And if you're new here, welcome. So over here, we talk about the power that comes from the word, it comes from the books, it comes from information, but it just comes from being practical. I'm tired of people talking about marriage is hard. Just communicate. Communicate about what? When the Negro is getting on your nerves. And if you ain't got a Negro, he's getting on your nerves. Okay, so what do you communicate about? So that's where you got to pray before you say, meditate. You have to listen. Okay, we have to also listen. Be mindful. I can tell down to my husband's moods. I'm telling you, listen, my husband can just walk in a certain way, and I realize there's something going on. And you know what? Some of that tension is released, okay, through intimacy. Because sometimes I'm like, hey, hey, honey, come on. And listen, I'm a little vocal up in here. So, I'm older. When I was in my 20s, I was all shy and stuff. Now I'd be like, hey, come on, listen, can I get some nookie nookie? Because I realize it does release some tension for him if he has something going on. Also, understand the purpose of marriage is to make you your best version of yourself. So if you running around here all crazy and stuff, I'm gonna look at you like, sis, the purpose of marriage is to give yourself fully to another and in the process become your best self. Okay, because you cannot stay mad and stay married. You can't stay mad and stay married. All right, so making it very practical today. And again, I was in Pilates this morning and I realized I like to look in the mirror, okay? Because I like to work out. I like to look at myself. And again, part of this is my personality, y'all. I'm a Leo to the core, through and through. It ain't Leo season yet, but when it is, we turn it up. But your marriage is a mirror. Your marriage is a mirror. It is a reflection of you. Your husband, you reflect him, and he reflects you. So if you're not your best version, you're not working on your best version of yourself, what are you working on? Okay. Your marriage is a reflection. Okay. So traits of a lasting marriage. Okay. It's always Leo season. I really want my marriage to work. So I was like, you know what? I got to do something different. There's a reason why I'm in a third marriage. And I'm going to tell y'all, I know it was me. Okay. I was a hot mess. I used to be married, running around thinking I was a special butterfly. And when I tell people these stories, they laugh, but I'm self aware. I did not enjoy being married in the past because I am very much an individual. I kind of like to do what I want to do. I don't really like to kind of report back. I let my husband know where I'm at and what I'm doing. But at the end of the day, I'm pretty ambitious, and my husband understands that. I was at a city council meeting, left the meeting, texted him and said, hey, what do you want for dinner? Picked us some food up, and we upstairs, 11 o'clock, good night, about 10:30, eating our food and just having fun and watching TV. Okay, but that's where we're at in this season of our lives. So traits of a lasting marriage, making it practical. Long-standing problems that may cause a marriage to break are excess baggage carried from earlier years. Sis, you got to let stuff go. The myth that marriage will bring you happiness is not going to bring you happiness. You create your own happiness with your hobbies. The hope of changing the other partner, you cannot change him, nor should you desire. You married him, you picked him. We all evolve and change, and denying the reality that both of you have changed. So, he has different traits, and this book is old. I think this book was written and published in the 70s. This is an old book, okay? Like old, okay? And here's the thing, baggage from the past. And I'm just going to read excerpts from each one of these. All of us bring problems into marriage because we bring ourselves. We are a combination of strengths and weaknesses, positive experiences, and crushing blows. We are people who have a light, transparent side as well as a dark, secretive side. We carry our total selves into the marriage relationship. Any unresolved problem, any inadequacy or liability from our past may become the seedbed for future marital breakup. If you have had an incident where someone cheated on you, most of us have as women, but men have too. You may need to over communicate Or if your husband's leaving out the house, you may ruminate like, where is he going? What's he doing? Sis, let it go. That's where self-confidence come in. And that's why I'm an advocate for you being fit, feminine, friendly, and fun, part of the Finest Wives Club. There's an acronym, Finest. When you are your most confident self, you shouldn't be worried about what he's doing. He gonna worry about what you're doing when you walk out the door, because you are going to be your most amazing self. Women that are whole and complete glow up. The next part he has is marriage doesn't mean happiness. If you are an unhappy person before marriage, you're likely to be unhappy after marriage. Marriage may provide a temporary change in your happiness because of the novelty of the situation, but eventually you'll settle back into the level of happiness you had as a single person. Get a hobby. Okay. I started Chicago stepping. Oh my God. Y'all talking about fun. Ooh, I love it. But guess what? I had other hobbies before Chicago stepping. I like to paint. I actually have a whole list of them written down. Write down the things that make you happy. I love to teach. I love to serve others. And with the evolution of life, I'm now a professor at a college. I got to finish up some things here. Like, my life has evolved in the things that I love that bring you joy. You have to find things. Start sewing. Like, there's a reason why our grandma's knitted. Okay. Cooking. Find things that bring you joy. No hope of changing the other. Before marriage, each one unconsciously said, well, this person isn't exactly what I want, but I'll be able to help him or her change. And there are some changes. People do modify and adapt, but basically only in areas that are inconsequential to them. Okay. So really, they're going to change, they're going to adapt, but they are pretty much going to be the same. You both have changed. At each transition time in life, the marital relationship will likely need to be readjusted. You have seasons, especially if you have young children, y'all are really going through a season. I could tell you now, as a grandmother, you know, with a home that is literally just, we're empty nesters, that's why I always say my husband's my favorite friend. He ain't my best friend, but he's the person in the world I'd rather spend time with than anybody else. So again, there are things to think about. Change does require accommodation. Avoidance becomes a pattern. Poor marriages seem to be marked by avoidance. Both partners use ingenious devices to successfully keep from communicating with each other about who they are and what they need. Favorite avoidance tricks are spending too much time away at the job, raising the children, being occupied in church or community activities, being a couch potato in front of the TV, working extra, etc., etc. Sometimes people feel avoidance is a way of protecting their partner. They think that talking about their marriage will be too painful or that it'll get better all by itself. Avoidance is usually not a deliberate plan at first, it just becomes an easy pattern. This is something that I had to recognize in my life. Y'all, I used to be a workaholic. Okay. It's probably not a surprise, but I've had to temper that in this marriage because my husband is like, we actually, I was caught in the fiasco with the Delta, cancellations because of CrowdStrike. And, we rode back together on Sunday and came back home Monday morning. But my husband was like off. And when he's off, typically he thinks I'm off too. And that's just the pattern of how we do things. I'm an entrepreneur, so I canceled some meetings and made myself available. And I was available for him. But I also had a city council meeting. That brings me joy. And I do it because it's part of my community work, but we both have agreed to what works for us. Okay. So what I have here is my notes, because I keep little separate notes. And thank you, Pa, for summarizing. You can't control him, sis. You got to focus on you. There is a blueprint for success in your marriage. I talk about this in business. I've been in business 10 years full time. And where I was at was the US Black Chamber. And they gave us a black print. Okay. They gave us a black print, 2023. Turn this fan off me because it's making me want to cough. They gave us a black print. And I thought about that for your marriage. What is your blueprint for success? Like, have you written it down? If we started to really take this seriously, we should have good marriages 80% of the time, right? 20% you're going to be crazy still. There are traits to a lasting marriage. Get the book. Even though it's a little thick, read 10 pages a day, read 10 minutes a day. Hell, read 5 minutes a day. Do something. Also, get organized. So I go to these city council meetings, commissioner meetings. Yeah, I'm pretty active. I'm running for public office. But this is organization for me. Are you organized in your marriage? Not just cleaning up. This is not being performative, doing the dishes, but are you organized with your thoughts to make your marriage successful? Are you pulling out his gifts? Pulling out his gifts. My husband is the doer to the core of him. He loves to be my hero. He loves to do work. He loves to cook for me. I've had to learn to accept that because acts of service, the five love languages kill marriages. Acts of service is not my love language. It's at the bottom, but guess what? I've learned to receive the way that he serves me. And sis, you need to do less. Remember, your marriage is a mirror. Some of y'all are just doing too much. You lead all the time. You do too much. Yes, we should be doing internal work, but around the home, I think that you believe that he expects you to do everything. And I think we just tend to do the things. I don't know. Any man is running around, unless maybe you're a housewife, I guess. But we were watching a movie yesterday, and this woman was doing, and I looked at him, and he looked at me. We laughed about some things. Marriage is not performative. So that's what I'm leaving with. But your marriage is a mirror. If you don't feel your best, he's not doing his best. It's a reflection. Lift your man up. Send him that sexy text. Tell him how much you appreciate him. Tell him that you're proud of him. They're like little boys. Okay. So again, we have to continue to do the work. And I just want you to have an amazing day. Again, your habits and your hobbies create your happiness. Focus on you, sis. Self-care, okay, getting your hair done. Self-care is spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. Self-maintenance is like me. I gotta go get my wax. That's just self-maintenance, okay? Also, you need your sister circle, unicorns and rainbows. Come to Cancun with us. I put the link in earlier. Come to Cancun with us. You need your sisters. We need each other. Recharge, refresh, re-energize, and to talk positive. Okay. Put on the armor. Ephesians 6:11. Put on the whole armor every day. God, let me see my husband how you see him. And I realize that it's been in my spirit too about mistresses, but some of you, I watched something yesterday, are dealing with some men that are a little bit too friendly, and you have to be mindful because remember, whole, complete, nothing missing, nothing broken women show up differently in this world. Men are very attracted to your energy too. So maybe I'm reconnected. Okay, no, I'm back. No weapon formed against you shall prosper because the joy of the Lord is your strength. You guys have an awesome, amazing day. So I think I made it back. Have an awesome, amazing day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Today, amazing. All right, y'all. Bye.